No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world, and I'm in here once again with young Gleesh. How you feeling, man?
Hello, Gleesh shitbag shouted.
It's funny to think about, like, the first time I ever interviewed you, I was asking you shit like what Mo meant, which I'm sure you still get asked all the time. But I was like, what's up with the Mo thing?
Yeah, Mo. I remember when I first met you, you was like downtown at that low ass shop, and this was before y'all was in Hollywood and shit. And Zach brought me in there. He's like, man, you gotta do something with these niggas. I never heard of you niggas or nothing, right? He's like, you gotta do something with these niggas, right? And then we came in there, talking about my case. And then my lawyer's like, nah, dub that shit.
Your lawyer called me saying the N-word in the morning, like super crazy, hard R.
He was white.
Old ass Jewish dude, just like, he's talking about shooting. I'm like, it's like 9 in the morning. I'm like, oh my God, all right. I was geeking when I got that interview with you because I was really listening to you like nonstop. I remember I had a girl come and stay with me, and she actually tweaked out on me. She was like, I thought I was coming to LA and I was going to get to do some nice shit. And instead, you got me in Skid Row. We listened to the same Young Gleesh tape 10 times. I just remember that she was mad as fuck, and she actually like called it that. It was so funny.
I remember this how I knew like y'all was something, because I never heard of y'all, right? When we didn't put out the interview and it was like became some rare shit or some like mythology type shit, Gleesh No Jumper shit. Motherfuckers was still like 2 years, 3 years later, like, where's that No Jumper Gleesh interview? I was like, bro, I ain't never had nobody ask about an interview like for 2 years. Like, nobody cares about that shit, bro. That's how I knew it was something different with y'all.
That was an important moment for me too, because that meant that it was like a moment where I had to make the decision, like, do I want to do the right thing and like, you know, basically do what was right for you in your case, or do I want to be a dick and just put it out anyway? And I was like, nah, you know, I gotta abide by the code and do the right thing, you know.
For me for that, yeah, because you like at that moment you could have put it out, and we didn't even say anything.
It really wasn't bad. It was just
that bad. It was just still we were dealing with a case.
You were saying regular ass rapper shit, and then your lawyer heard it, and it's like he didn't give a fuck about the case they were talking about. You said one thing early on. You said, you know, motherfuckers don't understand. We grew up shooting at N-words. He heard that. He was like, boom, done. Like, exactly. It ain't coming out. I'm like, that's the most regular rapper shit you ever heard.
Nah, he was smart because they used everything when we went to court and trial. They were using pictures of my tour, like tour promotion pictures and shit. It wasn't even nothing.
Oh, like some random picture of you with a gun or something?
That had nothing to do with nothing. So it was like, damn, y'all. Why that?
A lot of the most normal like rapper promotional things are just regular ass shit. Having a gun in the videos, like if you get a case that could just come back to get you so hard.
The jury was so crazy. Like when we were picking the jury, first of all, it was 60 to 70 or 80 people to pick through a jury selection. They were all white.
Like, in Texas too, right?
In Texas, right? Austin, Texas, and. There were some jury, like, they had, like, the judge had to dismiss them because of the biasness that they had. They were like, some jury was like, I think all rappers are sexual predators or sexual deviants or something. There was another jury like, I work security at a club, and whenever we have rap shows, they're always more rowdy, and it's just like the perception of rappers.
But that's funny because they're just saying that shit so that they don't have to do jury duty, right? Like, if you didn't want to have to do jury duty, you would say that too. You'd walk in like, I hate all white people. Fuck, get me out of here.
Because actually what happened was, it was something like that, right? It was more, like when I was watching the jury selection, it felt like school. And it felt like the people that were saying stuff were the people that wanted to sit in the front of the class and raise their hand and talk to the teacher and be the teacher's pet, right? And it felt like the people that didn't say anything were like the people that sat in the back and just was there for the ride. Right, those were the worst people, and those were the people that we actually got on the jury. A lot of people that didn't say too much, or didn't say too much of, like, didn't want to throw themselves off and seem some type of way. So a lot of people just snuck on the jury because they just ain't say too much.
This shit is crazy because this is like 3 years ago or longer, right?
That was 2015.
2015, and so then you finally actually had to go to court for it. So how would you describe the charges that you were actually facing? Because this is the stuff that we talked about in that first interview that never came out.
Well, actually, when we first did the interview, I was only charged with one charge, the first initial one in 2015. I was charged with penetration. they added a second charge to it 2 years later, in like 2017, when DNA came back and inconclusive, there was no DNA on her vaginal, none of my DNA on her vaginal, no DNA anywhere. And then they changed the charge. They added a charge of, what was it? Oral.
Okay.
Right? And then I got a third charge added 10 days before trial, because in Texas, apparently, they can add as many charges as they want, like on the same level or lesser, until like 10 days before trial. And during trial, they can add a lesser. So 10 days before trial, they tried to give me another deal, because throughout those few years, they kept offering deals, and I wasn't taking any of them deals. You know
The deals that they were offering, was it like you would do some short amount of jail time, or?
No, all the deals was like probation, you know, because when you cop, they're not trying to give you jail time unless your shit's like a very heinous crime or some shit like that.
And did you even think about taking any of the deals?
Nah, I wasn't worried about it. Nah, I was straight. Some of them deals was like probation and shit, but they all had registration. So
you have to register as a sex offender and shit. Fuck all that.
Like, nah, fuck that shit. Like, exactly, nah, hell no.
Yeah, and because then for the rest of your life, you're gonna have to go around, and you'll be like, yeah, you didn't take it to trial. You kind of,
yeah. For my shit with the conviction, I got to do the time of my probation as registered plus 10 years later.
Right.
So it's been 18 years.
Jesus Christ.
But the kill is, what I was saying was about the third charge. When I denied their last offer, they added that third charge. They added the fourth charge of attempted, which I was convicted of during trial. They added that during trial when the prosecutor had the DNA expert on the stand, and the DNA expert said that there was another male's DNA specimen in her vagina and in her underwear.
So they realized that there wasn't any evidence to link you towards any actual sexual assault, so they accused you of attempted.
Yeah, but not even that. It was the jury, because right now what I'm doing right now, I'm fighting an appeal. Okay. Right?
So you appealed their verdict.
Yeah, right? So that's that's why I can't really talk about the incident. We can talk about court more than anything, right? But I'm fighting an appeal, and within the first week of retaining my appeal lawyer, we find out that the juror compromised my conviction, and that's a violation to my constitutional rights, and it's improper misuse of jury conduct.
So what exactly did he do that violated the situation?
So basically, it's like if 11 jurors said he guilty, right? They want to say he guilty, right? But one is like, nah. But then they like, all right, just say he guilty and we'll give him probation. So two things are happening right now, right? One, they're discussing punishment before they even find out, they even decide if it's guilty or not. So they're worried about how much time and what type of punishment someone's gonna get before they even find out if they're guilty, right? On top of, you're compromising the conviction by like, okay, if y'all just give them probation, you know what I'm saying?
Right. It's supposed to be two different distinct phases. There's the actual decision on if somebody's guilty or not, and then there's the punishment.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what happened in mine. But in mine, it wasn't 11 and 1. It was more jurors that just didn't believe, but they all just compromised. So that was that crazy.
So this is this thing that's been just like torturing you for the fucking past 4 years, just following you around. You can't relax. You can't chill out fully because you've always had to be thinking about this. Is that accurate?
Yeah, no question. That's really why I fell off and fell back from the industry, and I just like needed time to myself because it's a lot to deal with. You know what I mean?
Do you feel?
I didn't do anything. You know what I mean? Not like just crazy as shit.
Did you feel like after that incident that the industry sort of blackballed you or stopped supporting you in a way because of that?
Yeah, no question. It was endless deals, endless corporations, endless promoters, endless that just stopped fucking with me. You know what I mean? It was just like, damn. And the crazy thing was, it took me about 3.5 years to really actually confirm it was because of my case that I was dealing with.
Right.
Like somebody actually came out and was like, look, this is what it is. We can't fuck with you and we want to, but our high ups did due diligence and it's like,
Right.
it's crazy.
Because your situation happened to you at like the worst possible time where you were right in the process of blowing up when this shit happened. And I feel like a lot of people sort of took it at face value that they assumed that you were guilty because it was reported that your manager left you at that time. Was that accurate? That happened?
Yeah, not only did he leave me, he made the only public statement from my camp. So I found out that he left me through that public statement. He called up the fader and made a like statement saying about I had a show after whatever he said in it, and he was like, he doesn't work for me. But it started off as Gleesh's camp saying this, that, and the third. He had a show after this, that, and the third. But his manager resigned and doesn't work for him right now. And that's how I found out that he didn't work for me anymore.
Right.
So it's crazy. I still actually haven't talked to him since then. Like we talked through middlemen, but I haven't really talked to him.
And did you go on the run after that, or what was the situation with that? Because you left Texas, right?
No, I didn't leave Texas. What I did was retained a lawyer. That's what white people do.
Or anyone who's concerned with not going to jail, yeah?
Yeah, I retained a lawyer, and then we went and did a walkthrough. So we did my turn in and did a mug shot and all the extra. But the way the police tried to make it seem like I ran from them, and that's what they were supposed to do because that's their fucking job. So it's
That's wild. They were all like eager to really paint you as being guilty before there was any kind of evidence, huh?
In the case for them, in my trial, their point of they're trying to make a point was of how I ran. They said that I left a suitcase on the side of the road, right? My lawyer pulled up one of the officers' dash cam, and they shows that my manager was pulling the suitcase into an Uber. The officer pulled up right then at that time, stopped my manager from doing it, pulled the suitcase out of the Uber, made the Uber drive leave, and then that was their thing. It was like, oh yeah, Gleesh left his suitcase and left the scene, and he ran. He's on the run right now. But it's on camera on the police dash cam showing him pull my bag out and leave it on the curb.
Crazy.
The case crazy. Like there's so much other crazy stuff in that case. It's like.
And was it the girl's choice to continue to press charges, or was it the state?
It wasn't a civil case. It was a criminal case.
Really?
So it was always gonna be the state's decision.
Right. Yeah. Crazy.
And it was just a prosecutor who just wanted her percentage up. You know what I mean? When her crime conviction rate, her lockup.
So you were found guilty of the attempted assault, and then they gave you probation, and now you're appealing it. That's correct?
Yeah, but how many people do you know fight a trial? Because I didn't cop out, right? I didn't take any deals throughout the whole trial, even in trial. I fought the whole way through.
They're supposed to lock you up if you're going to fight the whole thing, right?
You get conviction, and you get probation, and I'm black in Texas, in America.
And a rapper.
That's unheard of.
Right.
On a regular, just on some regular, that's why people cop. Because if you lose, they're going to throw the book at you. They're going to give you 100 years, they're going to give you the max.
And you thought you were facing many years in jail during this?
Oh, yeah, no question. That's really what was taking a toll on me. It was like, damn. It was like, I could turn up with my music and like turn up with my career, and then they'd use that against me, first of all, and be like, oh, yeah, he got all this power, and he doing this, he taking advantage and doing all this other shit. And then they take everything I just made, take it from me. And I'd be like, damn, I'd be more sick down in jail, like, knowing I just had something right there in front of me, and then they just snatch it from me. I'd rather just shitbag it and just sit with nothing, and y'all take nothing. I could sit down.
Because you were thinking that if you went and earned a bunch of money, that they were going to take it from you regardless.
It ain't about the money, more about like just my legacy and shit. You know what I'm saying? Money it's always money everywhere.
Just having somebody do that to your name.
Yeah, it's really that.
It hurts.
It's like, oh, that shit the worst thing ever, because it's like, them the two things I despise most in life. Snitches and rapists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't fuck with that shit, Joe. I really don't fuck with, like, I don't get down like that.
And to have everybody just associate you with like the worst thing you can imagine.
Exactly.
And people don't understand how much it hurts just to know that people think that about you and that you can't really do anything to disprove it.
And now, even with the court and trial, it's like the way the system's set up with the judge and the state knowing that my case was compromised. Like, there's laws in Texas right now. It's like you can get an appeal if you find out misconduct by jury, right? But then there's another law that contradicts that and says you can't bring any evidence finding out what type of misconduct it was. So we had hired an FBI private eye detective, right? Retired FBI private eye, but he's like a private eye detective now, right? But he used to be FBI, whatever. We hired him. He contacted the juror, a couple of them, and we found out that they compromised my conviction. But apparently, we probably won't even be able to use that because the law says that there's no way to use evidence to say that that's what you found out about the juror.
Right.
It's crazy, that shit.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So now you're just stuck trying to appeal this, but let's say that the appeal doesn't work. How do you feel about the sentence that you were handed down of the probation and whatnot?
8-year probation. Like I said, you got to register as a sex offender for those 8 years plus 10 years after that. So that's 18 years. Then I'd have to get my probation transferred to where I live. And I live out here. But when I tried to get my shit, right before I appealed, I tried to get my shit transferred out here. And this was like right before, this was the weekend, this was the Friday before Christmas break, 2018. Friday before Christmas break, the California probation parole contact me. They supposed to contact my probation officer down in Texas. They contact me and say, oh yeah, we denying it. And what they was denying was my right to come out to California to show them my living status, my paper registration for my house and my car, and like showing them that I live out here and shit, like so they could build a case and see if they like, if I'm legible for them to be like, oh yeah, let's accept them or not. They dubbed me before they even said any of that shit. And basically what I think it was like the week before Christmas, so she just ain't want to have on that paperwork load and shit. So she just was like, fuck that shit type shit.
So you're walking away from all this just feeling like the system's completely fucked, way worse than you ever could have known beforehand.
I knew it was crazy, but it's so crazy because like there's so much other things. Like I got a documentary I'm working on to explain the whole shit, right? But it was so much other shit that went into this case that, like, even for the jury not to believe, you know what I mean? They didn't, like, that's what they said. They didn't believe the prosecution's side. They didn't believe anything. They just thought something happened. But they don't know what happened. That's literally what they told my lawyer after trial. That's literally what they told the private eye guy that called 2-3 weeks or a couple months after my conditioning. And then it's like, I don't know, bro. I don't trust the system. Ain't trusted. And then going into the trial, the prosecutor's like, I trust the jury. I trust the system. Like, I bet you do. Like, I bet you do trust it. And it's all white jury. 60 people. Not one black person to pick, and 12 to pick 12. Not one black person.
And do you feel like the community that would otherwise be rallying around you is just kind of silent because of the nature of the charges?
Yeah.
Same
man,
people that would be rooting for Meek
it's
Mill aren't going to come out of the woodwork for you because of the nature of it?
It's another case that just happened, Mo. Like 2-3 weeks ago. This shit crazy. And I like feel blessed. At first I felt like I lost and I was like, man, this shit over with. Like, damn, bro, this shit. They got me on some fuck shit, right? But it's another case in Kansas or Arkansas, a guy named Albert Wilson. He just got convicted of rape. Mm-hmm. His case so much similar. He go to a bar. He 20 years old. He get caught with a fake ID. He got a fake ID. A white girl go to the bar. She's 17 years old. I don't know, 17 or 18. She didn't have an ID. She didn't even get caught. Boom. They both at a bar underage. They start kissing at the bar. They leave, go to his joint. They go to his joint. Whatever happened, I don't know what happened. They was in it for 5 minutes. This is on camera. They see, the camera shows how long they went to his house and went back. His house was literally like across the street from the bar or something. So they go to his house. He get a phone call that his friend's doing something at the bar. So he leave within 5 minutes, right? He never had sex with the girl or nothing.
And they were both underage.
They both underage. He never had sex with her.
Right.
He kissed her on the dance floor or kissed her at the house or whatever it was. He never had sex with her. It was 5 minutes. They go back to the bar. She claimed rape. He's convicted right now, and he's in jail, and he's doing 12 years.
The fuck?
Right now. He just got convicted like 3 weeks ago.
Crazy.
He's doing 12 years right now. And all he did was kiss this girl. But it's not even that he's in jail for kissing a 17-year-old, like some pedophilia shit. No, he's in jail for raping her. Like, that's his charge. His crime is forcing himself on another.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's not the first time that I heard a shit like that in rap too. There's a dude, South Park Mexican, that used to be big in the late 90s, and they fucking locked his ass up for like 20 years or some shit, and his main charge was that he got a 14-year-old pregnant, but she was a stripper. Like, she's working in the strip club. He starts hanging out with her. He knocks her up. He's locked up for fucking forever for this shit. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, that's different, though.
No, definitely, yeah. But at the same time, she's a stripper. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I assume the strip club's going to be fucking checking IDs.
I don't know. I'd tell a 14-year-old, though.
No, that's fucking crazy. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's different. No, yeah. But so how do you feel now? Do you still feel the same weight over your head? Like, now that, you know, you're not happy with the result, but you are, at least you know what the result is.
The past few days, I just been like trying to accept it. Cause at first we was like, I don't know. Like, lately I just been trying to learn to accept it, cause it's really, this world so shitty that we can see injustice. We can see all the fucked up shit. Bro, there's literally genetically modified fruit and food being sold at grocery stores, and people eating that shit. Like, it's accepted. Nobody's doing anything about it. Nobody's outcrying about it. Nobody's saying anything. Like, you gotta watch the fruit. Like, it's a fruit. If the fruit has 5 numbers on it, starting with a 9, it's organic. If it has 4 numbers, starting with a 4 or a 3, the shit is genetically modified. And people's eating this shit. There's nobody doing anything about it. Trump's in office. Like, that man, Albert Wilson, is locked up for this shit. What is anybody doing anything about it? You know what I mean?
This is, nobody wants to get behind somebody, even if they're like clearly the victim in the situation. Nobody wants to get behind them because of the nature of it, because they don't want to be accused of supporting somebody who would do such a thing, you know?
Niggas is fake. This shit fake. Everybody wait till the nigga die. Everybody wait till nigga something happen, and then they want to be about this whole movement and all these movements and shit. And y'all ain't doing nothing but canceling nigga on Instagram. Movement don't do shit in the streets. Y'all don't stop nothing. Y'all ain't trying to do nothing different. You motherfuckers still want to work a job. You still want to work for the government. You still want to be a part of this motherfucking system. So ain't shit gonna change. So what I'm gonna do, I gotta learn to accept it. Cause you motherfuckers crazy.
Does it make you like refocus on the people that you're actually friends with that aren't gonna believe some bullshit about you, or what does it do to you?
Know what's up with me. Niggas like the shit that would fuck me up the most because I was thinking motherfuckers gonna think something different of me. But everybody know, and everybody keep trying to tell me and shit. But it's like, you know, the internet and everything. Like, ain't nobody been tripping on me on the shit like this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't getting no hate or nothing.
I remember searching Gleesh on Twitter when the news came out about the verdict and like trying to see if people were talking shit, and it was not really.
Yeah, it wasn't
almost
like it's
none
not
of
that
it.
much. Like people, ain't nobody really on that shit. Niggas know what's up with me.
Right.
It's just I was convicted in front of 12 white people that are 40 years old, 30, over 30, and already had perception of black people, already had perception of rappers, already, if not, already had a perception of me. You know what I'm saying? So, and let everybody else tell it that's the system that everybody believes in and they trust so much. This the government y'all pay taxes to. These the folks y'all vote. This y'all prosecuting y'all community wanting convictions, even when they know it's not even, like, their case didn't even add up. Like, the jury even said that. Like, I don't believe your case. Like, it doesn't even make sense. But you want a conviction that bad. It's, like, sad, bro. It's crazy that, and then, like I said, it's like, nobody wants to change it, so what can I do?
For sure. Let me ask you this. You were in a pretty public relationship for a while there. Did this case put a strain on that?
Not really. More of on her.
Like her having to deal with shit. Like you might be able to take it, but she's, you know, in a public figure and everything.
For her, I mean, it wasn't even that bad it wasn't that bad. Like, you know what I mean? But she got a whole nother fan base. They don't know nothing about me.
They're a lot more sensitive than your fan base.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And they just don't know nothing about me. So it was like more of, they needed not an explanation, but they needed to know me or whatever. You know what I mean? And they just, and I never bridged that gap and like try to reach out to her fans, like, or did anything where me and her fans could see a better perception of me. I was on media silence. You know what I mean? Media blackout. So it was like, it was probably harder on her. Cause like I said, ain't nobody saying nothing to me. Cause everybody know what's up with me. So that shit is what it is.
I mean, it's dating a girl is essentially like a pop star. There's going to be a lot of situations like that. Like, I remember when we did the second interview that you just told a quick little story about like hell yeah, we'd be fighting. I just whooped a motherfucker in her front yard the other day, and then I had to delete it out because it sounded so crazy.
So much shit from that night, bro. Bro, when, you remember, like, I literally didn't even leave this shit, and she.
Yeah.
And I'm glad she did that shit too, because there was a lot of shit that it wasn't even like wild shit, but it just like like I said, just shit for her more than me, because I say some wild shit and then reflect on her, like you know, that's the thing people don't realize. The things you do, your actions hurt more than just you. You know what I mean? So it's like that was something she was teaching me.
I can't lie though, that relationship was kind of like goals for a while there. There were some like tweets of like pictures of you guys together and shit, and I was just like, God damn, it's crazy seeing Gleesh like this, like just girls retweeting it, being like, oh my God, like I need me a thug, yeah.
Yeah, nah, that's some back home shit for real. The Virginia girls love DC niggas.
What happened to that relationship? It's over, I'm guessing?
I mean, you know, life goes on.
Yeah.
Life goes on.
How are you feeling at this point about your love life, though? Are you looking, or you're interested, or no?
Nah, like, me and her still cool. Like not cool, but we like, it's not, you know, I don't know.
Right. Was it a dramatic breakup? Was it a crazy one?
Nah, not, yeah, but nah. It's, I don't know.
Yeah.
Peace and Positivity video just dropped.
Facts. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I'm on a whole peaceful wave.
But before we even do that, you had a couple of videos like last year that both did fucking crazy good. There's the Whistle song And then what was the other one?
You
Right, yeah.
Trap. Yeah, them joints definitely went.
Those went up.
Yeah, they went crazy for a Gleesh album. So go get that too. Gleesh album out right now. It came out in 2018. That was really like a stepping stone for what's about to happen right now. So right now we're getting ready for CF4, Clean Size Finest 4.
Okay.
So, you know, I guess you remember me. Everybody knows from CF3, and you know, I mean, if you go before that, Strong and all that other shit. But like my main shit that everybody like that changed the game and influenced everything right now. Like a lot of these rappers right now was CF, Clean Size Finest 3.
Because that's the one that had Wasabi and shit on it, right?
Wasabi, Trappin' Benny, Water.
Crazy moment in hip hop. That tape was insane.
Bro, that tape was definitely before its time, and it got overlooked.
That's what that girl was bitching about me listening to nonstop on that trip. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. It was definitely that tape that like you can listen to that shit again, and I still listen to that shit to this day. Like I love that tape. But what I did with this one is just like that. Not like the same, like not like, oh, I tried to do the same song or nothing like that, but it's like it's game changing. And it's like I know what I did now. Like I saw what mistakes I made before. I was too ahead of the time and they weren't ready. So now I waited enough time and this shit about to come out right on time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right around the time where they ready for it and shit.
Right.
So that's why we just dropped like peace and positivity, and everybody's like on this peaceful wave and shit like that. And we just dropped a video.
Were you were with Capitol before for a period of time?
Nah, so Asylum.
All right, right.
We were Asylum with that last tape, Gleesh, that we did, and they came around after we dropped Pew Pew and we went viral, and you know all the labels started coming. Like, oh, can we do something? Let's do.
So you get one popping song on YouTube, and all of a sudden they forget about the reason why they were blackballing you before.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Literally, what happened? Like niggas in the label was like, so what happened? Like, where'd you go? Like, nigga, y'all know what the fuck happened, bro. Like, come on, bro. And then when we get into this shit, like, they were getting blackballed. They so fucking with me, apparently. Or that's what they were saying. I just think they weren't working and pushing me and shit. But they was like, oh, everybody we trying to talk to was like this, that, and the third. Like, okay. So how the fuck you think I got y'all attention in the first place? Because I'm me, nigga, and I can do this shit without you niggas. You niggas on my dick regardless.
They're just using that shit as leverage to be like, oh, like this is why we don't want to pay you that much. Is because
it was after they paid me. It was like when they time to push me and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like the money was already in my pocket. They was like stalling and shit.
So you signed, got the advance. You were feeling pretty good about it, and then you weren't happy with the rollout or all the shit that they tried to do for you afterwards.
Nah, they tried to fake bench me. Because this what happens. This why. Hey, look. This a message. P.S. Message to all the artists that's independent. If you blowing up and you got a hit song and your shit popping and like everybody fucking with you, right? And then the label start coming. Don't sign to them right then and there, bro. For the fact, like I'm not saying no, like they gonna do this, all this other shit, right? Just off of simple facts, statistically speaking, your shit hot right now, maybe 2-3 months, if it's really that good, you know what I mean? 6 months, really that popping and shit, you know what I'm saying? It takes 3 to 6 months for paperwork to finish. So if you do a deal with a label and they gonna try to do an album with it. They not, unless you really got that much clout, they're not gonna really try to just sign you for a single. The single has an option with an album. You know what I'm saying? So if you sign to them, your buzz from that song that's hot off that single won't be that hot in 6 months.
By the time the fucking ink dries on the paperwork.
Exactly. So by that time, if you haven't kept pushing and moving for yourself, if you get comfortable, like, I'm about to sign with a label. Right. And they telling me they want all this music, and I'm not about to drop anything until I finish this deal, then that whole time, you're slacking. And then in between that time, your career is going downhill, while you waiting for the check to come in.
Because you had the whistle song, the pew pew thing, like those blew up, but then you like instead of like continuing to flood the streets and stuff, you took some time off. Then by the time the project came out, the heat that you had gotten from those singles had not really.
And that's why they tried to bench me, because the time I took off was fucking with them.
Right.
They were we were doing the paperwork. We were in the midst of doing the paperwork, and the paperwork was taking so long, and they were dragging their feet on this shit too. There was like shit that like it was like going to the DMV. It was like they would tell you, we were like, all right, what do we need to finish off signing off on this? Oh, well, you need this. All right, we go and get that, and then we come back. So are we done with that? No. Oh, you need this, something else. So you got to go back to the house and get like, you know what I'm saying? That's like,
if nobody's in a hurry, ain't shit happening. It's gonna take forever, because it might take a week to get one form signed, to get one copy of something. I
finessed my way out of that off the. You remember when we did the Make America Gleesh Again? Yeah. You remember you coined that term. I invented
that. Thank you very much.
You coined that term years ago, right? Yeah. I don't even remember, but
doing
you definitely
big things for the MAGA culture out there.
Sure did. You definitely.
We changed it up.
You definitely did big numbers with that, right? When we did that when I finally started doing that whole little wave, that was like enough like buzz for the label to be like, oh, let's hop on this. He back on this shit. He back popping. Like they thought like. I don't know what the fuck they thought. Like I don't know, bro. I don't. Like they would just be trying to cap. And my definition of capping is like a nigga trying to get the most for the least amount of work. Mm-hmm. That's a label. They're like, oh, he's hot. Let's sign him, but let's let him do what he does to keep him hot. Right. All we doing is put money in his pocket, and now whatever he does, we taking money.
You got a hot song on your own. And then they love that. They love the fact that you got hot on your own, but then they're not really trying to like spend the money to like try to recreate more of that.
They don't do artist development anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's not about the budget's not the budget you get in your advance, that's for you to create your artistry. Mm-hmm. That's like that back end budget, they don't be wanting to spend that shit. You know what I mean? They don't want to spend the budget of for videos and shit. That's the least amount they want to do. Is like they'll give you some money for some videos and shit, but they not trying to do like some Travis Scott budget where you put a fucking face in London and put a face in New York and put it like that shit costs money. And them motherfuckers like fuck no, unless that shit makes sense. Like that shit ain't retarded as shit. Like nobody's doing that shit, bro. Like Tyler got a budget for that Igor shit right now. He got Igor posters all everywhere, over the place, yeah. Like it's a movie coming out.
He actually got the label behind him or whatever his situation is.
Exactly.
I don't know,
but you know, he got his own. Even if he didn't have a label, he had his own dough chain from fucking with his clothing and just like all his other little business ventures and shit. But that comes with budgets, you know what I mean? And labels don't be want to spend that budget on shit like that. So are you putting this project out independently? Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm the only time I ever did anything with a label was with the Gleesh shit with Asylum. That was the only thing. It was really a single with an option with a project with an option for an album. Yeah. But they canceled the album because of my case. They tried to do the same shit my manager did, and when it came down to doing an interview with some fucking blog or some shit, they was like, oh, we don't work with him anymore or some shit, whatever. And it's like, all right.
So you're totally disillusioned? You think you could ever end up in the label situation again, or you're over it?
Yeah, I'm people around me, we doing a lot of talking. I got my own label, Mokill Records, right? So we got artists around me, and then I'm about to just do a bunch of big business shit, big boss moves, signing artists. Even if they don't sign to me, bring them to other labels. We figure out, you know what I mean, A&R projects and just the whole shebang, like shit that I ain't never done. That a lot of these artists used to like be mad at me for not doing, like fucking with them and like really doing shit. But I'm be getting my points off of this shit now. You know what I mean? I used to do shit and I don't I don't make money off of nobody else shit. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm be doing this shit like on some business mentality type shit and fucking with it. My bad.
No, it's all right. I don't got the headphones on, so I wasn't even looking at it. I forgot about the microphone. But yeah, so what, you're saying that you're like more interested in actually just being involved in the music industry in various ways?
Yeah. So, like I said, we're going to be doing big shit with a bunch of artists, a bunch of DMV artists back home. DMV really hot right now. I know a lot of you motherfuckers in California listening to these niggas. You bringing a lot of these niggas up here. that's popping. We just be fucking with a bunch of niggas, bro. I'm be out here doing features and doing a bunch of shit that I ain't been doing before, and just like giving back instead of like
just making it 100% about your career. You're trying to fuck with more people.
Yeah.
Do you? Who do you fuck with from the DMV that's coming out right now?
Shit, boy, there's so many motherfuckers. They got a nigga named Zan Man. They got a nigga
Zan
named
Man up
Lil
next
Zelly.
for sure. Yeah, Zelly's tight too. Yeah.
I know you know Q the Fool. I know you know Lil Dude.
Drago and Bino.
Gunu.
Yep.
Drago and Bino.
You don't know them?
Them niggas ain't from the DMV.
Oh, you're right. They're from
Niggas
Detroit. You right. I'm all fucked up.
But I fuck with them. And Sada Baby.
Stupid hard, right?
Boy, Sada Baby on that motherfucking block party. I can't put the body up with my damn movie, little dog. Little ugly ass. I'm like, oh, he fucking up. Dr. Roboto, Mr. Blagato, Dr. Bato. I'm like, oh, look at him. He fucking on up, little ugly ass nigga.
Oh,
I fuck with Jay Gambino, but they ain't from DC.
No, my bad. My mind's all fucking fucked up. I swear I'm sick or something.
But DMV got some niggas, bro. It's like
Rico Nasty.
Rico Nasty is fucking crazy. She's like the Cardi B of DC.
Mm-hmm.
My young nigga Hooli Entertainment, like he really in the streets right now from Southeast. Like, there's a lot of motherfuckers in the city that's going crazy right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we about to give back to the community.
Definitely. But you spend much time out there at this point, or are you fully LA?
Oh yeah, now fucking with my case, I've been having to stay here and go back to Texas and shit. So I've been going back home when it makes sense. Type shit. Other than that, I don't be really just sliding back in there and just dipping and shit. I go back see my family and shit, but I'm gonna be out there and just chilling in the hood. Hey, Gleesh back in the hood, motherfucker. Nah, I'm chilling and shit.
You don't got nothing to gain from that?
Nah, fuck no, not no more. We out of that.
Definitely. What okay, so you're working on this new project. What else you got going on in your life? What's the day in the life of Gleesh like?
Bruh, it's hectic. We working on a project, we shooting videos. We got about 4 videos shot. We just shot Piece of Positivity. We just dropped that shit.
Yeah.
Right? We just dropped that. So you watching it, go watch that shit right now. Sophie's in that shit, actually. I just told you that. Sophie's in it.
And what was the idea? Was that you were trying to like explicitly do something that was like more on the positive side after writing all these songs about lean for all these years?
Nah, what happened is like
and guns.
I was just like somebody was telling me that I should write for artists. And Playboy Cardi actually asked me to write for his album a couple years ago. And then my manager Max was like, you can't write for nobody, right? But the kill is, if we look back at it, when I did the song with Lean and Sad Boy and shit, like I not took, because it was a feature with him. Like I took his slogan and his whole MO of it's sad boys and shit, and I made that the song. You know what I mean? So I was like, it's sad boy, lean by the bottle, it's sad boy, right? And that's basically me just like incorporating his aura and mind together type shit, right? And that's what I did with Peace and Positivity. My nigga Visto right there. Visto, come here real quick. And you can bring the snickerdoodles with you.
Snickerdoodle.
Come on, guys.
Shout out Snickerdoodle.
Right
Show
here.
the
You put your head
cam.
like right by the mic. Let's see it.
Yeah,
Hey.
Visto, show the snickerdoodles right there. Snickerdoodles.
Right there. Make sure y'all
That's a
check that
hippie
out.
right there from DC right there, man. That's the head
You don't-
honcho hippie
You
right
don't
there.
have hippies in DC, so I pretty much created a wave that was not there at all. The whole energy, the whole thing of respecting a person's individuality, letting a person be who they are. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying I started the whole hippie thing, but I put the idea out there. You know what I'm saying?
So
shout out to DC.
that's where
DMV.
Fucks with you.
that's where that song came from. It was more of he produced that beat for me,
Right.
and I was really about to do a feature with him, and it was more like me about to incorporate his style and mine together. But I ended up like just taking the song or some shitbag shit because the shit was so crazy, and that's what that song is like. Peace and Positivity is like Gleesh, a day in the life of Gleesh as a hippie.
Right.
Type shit. It was just crazy.
Do you think it's hard to push that kind of positive message though, when it feels like still a huge percentage of the stuff that pops off is just stuff about drugs and violence?
Nah, cause if people like this, like what I was saying earlier, people fake as shit because they'd be like, "Oh, peace and positivity, let's be peaceful," like on Instagram and then they movements and shit. But like, do you really promote that shit in real life? Do you really live by that shit? Do you really actually do peaceful shit? Do you actually try to do positive things for the community? Do you actually try to prosper daily, or you just sitting around doing nothing? You know what I mean? And if you really believe in that, then here's a song to go with that. And it's gangster, it sound like some gangster shit that ain't like some weak ass, oh, peaceful positive. Like, it sounds crazy. The joint crank. The joint not bad. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, how could you go wrong with that?
So if you end up having to do this probation, you're gonna have to stop smoking?
Yeah.
How's that feel?
I already
10 years away from the kush? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I already stopped smoking.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, just because I ended up doing 10 days jail time for that shit, because when I got the day of conviction, you're sent to this thing called probation, the probation office, and you got to do a probation assessment to see if you're like a high risk of reoffender of probation and like risk, you know what I mean? And during that, you got to take a urine. So that week was the trial, and before that, I was a free man, and if I would have won, I'd have been free. So of course I was smoking, you know what I mean, beforehand, and smoking during trial because this shit's stressful as shit, right? So we get convicted that Friday, and they like leave the courthouse and go straight to the probation assessment. So yeah, I took a urine, and yeah, my shit was dirty, right? And the judge seen that when I got conditioned by the probation officer in the courtroom, he was like, oh, he had a dirty urine, and the judge sentenced me to 10 days before I was even sentenced to probation. So I wasn't even on probation. Like, I'm in front of the judge getting my probation.
Right.
He's telling me I got 8 years probation now. He's telling me I can't do the certain things. I got to register and I got to do all these things. And in the midst of that, the probation officer walked up to him and was like, oh, he had a dirty urine. And he was like, what? Oh, 10 days down Dale Valley and shit. So that was that.
10 days. How bad would you describe that as for a guy like you? Like, you know, doing a little 10 days in prison. Were you
like,
stressed out?
I was, you know what was worst thing about it? It was more fucked up for me, the fact that I wasn't expecting to go to jail. Because they already gave me probation. You know what I'm saying? And the jury suggested 5 years probation. The judge gave me 8 years probation. So that shows what he feels about me, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why he gave me 8 years, right? But it was more like I didn't expect to be sent to jail for a dirty urine when I'm not even on probation yet.
Right.
Like, I don't even have a probation officer.
Like you're supposed to fucking know that you're gonna.
Yeah, like that was. So it was more like, I'm in here for that?
Right.
Like if I would have been sentenced to jail time and I would have been had to do jail time, I'd have been like, okay, in my mind getting prepared for that and I'd be ready for that. But it was more of a shock. And it was like, damn, them 10 days was like, damn, Joe, like, I ain't even supposed to be in here. But it was, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And down there in Texas, that shit was like the Dale Valley, that shit, with them niggas in there, them Texas niggas, them Austin niggas in there, they'll tell you. It's not like I'm shitting on that joint or nothing. They call this shit Cadillac. They jail is Cadillac. They call it, like, not the jail name is not Cadillac, and that's not the jail's nickname either, but just like, they call it Cadillac because it's like a smooth ride.
It's chill?
Yeah, it's like, they be chilling in there.
Really?
Niggas was in there funning and shit more than anything. And I was like, y'all niggas crazy as shit, because niggas was really in there, like, playing around and shit.
They're having a good time.
Yeah, having a good time. Me, I'm in there joint like, the fuck is wrong with you niggas?
Right.
Like, fuck, I ain't even supposed to be in here. Like, nigga like me go straight to the Fed. We we do Fed time.
Right.
Immediately. We don't do county. We don't even have a bail. We don't have bail.
Right.
I didn't even know about bail till I started dealing with my case. We never seen bail. There's no bail bondsman. There's no bond out. There's the judge let you out on your own recognizance at your first court date and you fight your case, or you sitting down in DC jail, and then when you get sentenced to over a year or 3, you going straight to a federal joint. So we do Fed time. I don't do this county shit. This shit different. Y'all, we do mint, real mint. Not just playing around. Y'all, they was playing around in that joint. I was like, y'all niggas
I
crazy.
mean, if you could just have fun in jail, it'd be way less scary. You probably fucking
It definitely felt like
wouldn't mind it.
some fucking boot camp shit, bro.
Just hang out with the boys, you know?
Not them niggas.
So, all right, where's your mind at right now? What are you determined to do over the course of the next however long, 6 months, 12 months, whatever?
I'm going up. We going up, Joe. Like, I'm going up. I know what to do now. Like, I'm not gonna play with the time. Like I said, I've been learning to accept what's happened, and even though I don't want it to be like this, maybe this is what was meant for me. Maybe I need to go down another path. You know what I'm saying? So, not talking about like my rap career, but just in general, like just in my lifestyle, maybe my lifestyle need to change. And shit that I'm doing, like, it's like maybe everything happened for a reason.
If you had just kept blowing up, if you're like what you had going in 2014 or whatever, like if that had just kept going up, then you might have, you would never really appreciate your situation or whatever in the long run. Like I feel like that in my own career, like having taken steps where it felt like everything was exploding and shit wasn't going to work out. It's like, I can't imagine how I would feel if I hadn't had to go through that.
Yeah, I'd probably definitely be just like a real dickhead. Like, like I was always humble, but it was definitely, like I definitely try to probably still be like, I don't know. I know I learned lessons from this shit.
Kind of forced you to grow up.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I know I learned a lot of life lessons from this shit. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. It just sucks that I know I ain't do nothing. I gotta deal with some shit that I ain't do. But it's like I said, if y'all ain't gonna help me, America, y'all gonna help me. Let's fight this shit. Fuck, like not just in my case, let's fight the whole fucking system. Like we can fight this shit and whoop their ass and like do this shit. But if y'all ain't gonna help me, then y'all just keep working y'all job and this shit can happen to you one day and you be sick. Don't look at me. I'm telling you peace and positivity right now, you know what I'm saying? So it'd be too late by then, you know what I'm saying? I'd probably be off in Texas on probation somewhere. So, you know what I mean? Like, get your shit together. Yeah.
Definitely. Damn, all right. So do you have a tape name in mind for the next? Oh, you already said the Clean Side's Finest 4.
Clean Side Finest 4. Clean Side Finest 4. CF4. Everybody love me from CF3. CF4, bro. We already dropped Peace and Positivity. All these goofy ass rappers got this war. We dropping Water 2. Okay.
You were very early on the water wave.
I was
Pre-Ugly God,
a
lot of people.
Before Ugly God, before Fat Head Schoolboy Q with that big ass bucket hat, you ugly, fat nose, little head, big hat, low back, fat shirt. I'm gonna cook your ugly ass when I see you, Slim. And it wasn't your fault. I already cooked Cardo Got Wings. I already know who gave you the song. I cooked his fat head ass, little shirt, big neck, little skinny Chancleton looking ass. I already cooked this ugly ass. He know what time it is.
Right.
Before them niggas, yeah, we been was on the water. And we ain't talking about drip drowning. We ain't talking about whatever healthy regiment you put on your face at night, your little ass girls, you know what I'm saying? I don't know about all that. We was talking about some real street shit, DC shit, you know what I'm saying? Oh, before I go, they trying to mute my city, you know what I'm saying?
What
DC, I don't know if you heard, like, you know where I come from, Go-Go, and shit. I told you about this probably in the first interview and all that.
Definitely taught me about Go-Go in the first interview, yep.
Right, boom. DC is getting gentrified right now, like as everywhere. But it's a story about this T-Mobile store that used to play music as long as I can remember. They used to play music there. A lot of time it would be go-go. Just in general, they'd play anything though. They'd play Drake, they could play whatever. Lauryn Hill, they'd play music. And it'd just be loud like it's a speaker like set outside. And the white people moved in DC. First of all, they letting they nasty ass dog shit on Howard Lawn, which is a prominent black college. If niggas had they dog shit on Yale or Harvard, niggas would be doing 30 years.
Yeah.
This is a fact, right? These motherfucking white people letting they dirty ass dogs, because you know white people love dogs more than humans,
it's right? It's a big part of our culture, yeah.
Yeah. So,
I hate dogs. That's how you know I ain't really white.
So it's cool, you know what I mean?
No, I hate dogs, but I can't really.
No, it's cool, man.
My
You're
dog.
not gonna get canceled.
My dog.
But
I don't think I knew a dog was a gun till you either.
Yeah, and you remember we did the interview and you
I
was
think you
like
told me,
asking about it. He
yeah.
was like, my dog, and then you really sounded retarded as shit because you was like, you really was like, I fuck
White
with
as
this song,
shit.
I fuck with this song, but like, where's my dog? And then somebody, I think Hakeem was like,
Yeah.
he's talking about
House
a gun.
Fun. House Fun was like, you
House Fun was
dumbass.
like,
That's a gun. I'm
He
like,
talking about a gun. He's like, what kind of dogs do you like? What kind of dog did you have as a child? Like, bro.
SMH. That's funny as fuck. I mean, I don't like, since then, I don't think I've heard that many people call it gun a dog, but I
Nah,
mean,
that's
you go with
that's
it.
some DC shit. Niggas don't say that shit, but you
I
know,
was asking about Mo Kill too, but
Mo Kill, Mo Dog, Booth.
boof.
You know, I named the weed Booth, and now everybody call it Booth. I mean, LA been saying Booth for bad weed.
But you started saying it for good weed.
I made it good.
And then you that influence is probably like part of the reason why X, when he had that song, said just bought a pound of the booth, took that shit straight to the booth. Like he's rapping about booth as if it's a good thing.
Ladies
And also he's capping because he never fucking smoked weed.
Doesn't smoke weed. But ladies and gentlemen,
Rest in
XXX
peace.
said Booth. Shoreline Mafia says Booth.
Right.
Playboy Cardi said Booth.
Right.
Uzi said Booth. A$AP Rocky got a song that he didn't release yet that he said Booth. And all these rappers that's talking about Booth, this guy, and so many other words, so much other lingo, so much other flow, style, influence came from me.
Give Gleesh his due.
Yeah, my Gleesh is definitely overdue. So, what we say? What was the campaign? It was 2020. Make America Gleesh again. Mm-hmm. It's 2019.
We're still going. I still got that bucket hat in my room.
This year is setting up for 2020. CF4 is setting up a road for a whole nother different Gleesh. Same shit, bad Charlie, just a different Gleesh.
It's good to see you still going hard and not letting shit get you down and still keep working, still keep making music. You know, it's inspiring because like kids out there, they need to know.
Yeah,
Just because you fall down, you gotta get back up, dust yourself off.
Even as hard as it is, and I know I'm making it seem like it's easy. It's not that easy. It's definitely a struggle. Definitely shit you gotta go through. But when I look at it, it's like I said, it's a nigga named Albert Wilson that's in jail right now for 12 years. It's niggas that don't have houses, niggas that just, like, their mother just died. It's like, it's so much problems in the world that I can't really just look at mine and just be like, man, you know what I mean? As much as I want to and just be like selfish and shit, it's like, man, life goes on, bro. You know what I mean? And you can get through that shit, and the shit don't do nothing but make you stronger. That's all. You know what I mean?
If you got the right mentality, you can't let it destroy you.
Yeah,
You got to keep building.
Just don't let it destroy you. But that's the thing with my sign, Scorpios. That's how we deal with like depression and shit. We like immerse ourselves in it, and anger and hatred and depression and all the fuck shit, and then we come out better. You know what I mean? Other
Emerge from it. Yeah.
Other signs can't do that. Other people can't do that shit. You know what I mean? So that was me. I like to take in all that negativity to bring out the positive.
Yeah.
So
That's what's up. All right. Anybody you want to shout out? Thanks. Anything?
hey, Mo Kill Records. Shout out my nigga Lonnie. Shout out my nigga Mo. Shout out my nigga Visto. Mad Visuals. My nigga Hooli. My nigga Zoe Pound from Louisiana. Shout out to everybody I'm about to sign. We about to do some big ass moves with y'all. Shit Bad Shawty, Clean Side Finest 4. Peace and Positivity out now. Water 2. Man, get ready, man. Stop playing, Adam. Tell him who I am, Adam. Tell him, man. Just tell him.
Shit back shorty. You already know.
Man, for real, man. They know, man. Gleesh, shit back, Shawty. I'm back, bitch.
He
Fuck
back.
the time out.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming in. Gleesh,
Thank you, bro.
legend in these streets.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate you, man. Hey, No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Check us out on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes. Yeah.